After I put my sketch on the panel with some pastel pencils, I go over with the base color of the cocktail itself. In this case, a bit of a yellow tone. Round shapes are often hard, so I like to use straight lines here. As you can see, I'm not really drawing a circle here. I'm just using my brush to make a bit of a round shape illusion. It's a very simple way to get round shapes in there, and later on during the painting process you can always decide to round it a bit more or keep it as is. As I want to have a straight line in the background, I put some painter's tape there. That way I can just fill it in without worrying about that edge. The slice of lime is actually painted very loosely, just with some straight brush strokes in the same direction, all from outside towards the middle. That way you already get a bit of a playful effect with the colors in there, and it gives you the illusion that it might be a lime. Again, it doesn't have to be a perfect render of reality, but we need to be able to determine what it is. I think this is a very nice approach of doing so and keeping some looseness in your painting as well. So try to play around with that. When peeling off the tape, again, be careful, you don't want to rip it off and you don't want your panel to move, just do it ever so gently. Now it's time to continue with some more of the background, but also more fine-tuning of the colors in the cocktail itself. I'm adding some greens, bringing it a bit closer to the lovely shade of green in the lime, but also because green and red are opposites on the color wheel, so they go quite nicely together. That's why I added a touch of more greens in there. Try not to be too intimidated by painting glassware, because basically it's quite simple. Now you can see through it, so you see the background. Sometimes it's a little bit distorted or a bit in a slightly different color, but other than that, it's all coming down to highlights which you add at the end. At this point, I'm adding a very nice bright shimmer on top of the cocktail. And to me, this really gives the illusion of depth and dimension. You need to play around with contrasts and enjoy. Here I'm scratching out some paint with actually a stick for the barbecue. That's an easy way to have a little sketch in there before you go over it with paint, or if you want some lighter areas to push out. Also here I'm deducting some paint with a brush without any paint on it, making it lighter. Because remember, the background of our painting is very light. So if you remove paint, that lightness shines through. So you're basically making the paint layer slightly more transparent. Other than that, we're fine-tuning, blending colors here and there, making it look more appealing. And I do like to leave the occasional rough marks in there as well. You don't want to overblend, you don't want it to be a boring piece, you still want to be able to see that it's actually painted. And for getting this salt on the rim of the glass, it's basically just dappling on a bit of paint. And remember, it's not pure white, because always use the brightest whites for the bitter end. These are just whites mixed with yellow ochre. As we're having an object which is a bit rounded, it's a glass which is round, I also don't want the edges to be too sharp where the glass is rounding. So I'm slightly going over those edges with the paint to make them slightly softer. Now, for the rest of the video, I'd say sit back, relax, and see how it nears its completion. And also, please do attend the Food Paint Challenge, because you can paint this subject yourself, because the reference is provided on my Instagram page. Happy painting!